Present continuous. Watch this video and learn how to use this tense and some interesting uses of the present continuous. This is part 1 of this lesson. If you don't know me very well, hello, I'm teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because every week I post different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So I appreciate you becoming part of this beautiful family of students from all over the world who want to unlock their English fluency. But present continuous is not so basic. I know that most of you learned this tense when you were a beginner, when you were getting started with your journey. But at a pre-intermediate and intermediate level, you will continue to study this tense and learn more details, more pieces of information that will make you use this structure in a more advanced way. And at this level, here on my channel, I focus on pre-intermediate and intermediate students. My goal is to help you go from stuck to speaking in 6 months. That's what I do here. That's what I do with my students from my academy. And basically, if you want to get out of the stuck zone, you need to use grammar. You will continue to study grammar. It's part of the journey. But the catch is, how do you use the grammar you study? So at the end of this lesson, I invite you to post one example in the comments. This is something that I always do with my babies. You know, in every part of the module in my academy, my online program, I always ask my students, okay, you finished the grammar lesson? Example. You finished the vocabulary lesson? Example. And what is the goal with that? I don't want you to simply watch the lesson and then go away, go about your day, but to really help your brain understand that this lesson is important. It's important to use it. And the best way to use a lesson is to create examples and connect those examples with your life. So I invite you to do that, okay? So this is something that I know it works. So when this lesson is over, I want to see your example, at least one, all right? But let's keep going. Present continuous. This is the tense that describes the present. We are talking about the present. In part 2, I am going to cover different uses of the present continuous, but in this one, this is a brief review, okay? It's important to review. So basically, I am describing the moment. Now, living in the moment, living my life, taking it easy, with peace of mind, peace of my heart, peace of my soul. Wherever I'm going, I already know. So it's a beautiful song, by the way. So I am focusing on the moment. And this is very different from simple present, because simple present focuses on habit, on routine. Present continuous doesn't. And it's difficult to some students to understand that. Like, oh, I can use simple present. No, you can't always use simple present. You will often use present continuous, especially when you're talking about now. And what is right now? Temporary. I'm doing this at the moment. It doesn't mean I'm going to continue doing that activity. So right now, at this exact moment, I am looking at the camera and I am talking to you. That's present continuous. That's action at the moment. Okay, my sister, where's my sister? I don't know, but she's at home, probably, okay? What is she doing right now? Well, it's 10 a.m., 10:20 in the morning. She's probably, I don't know, she's probably having breakfast. Or she's getting ready to work. She's getting ready. Moment, now. That's the idea. I can't use simple present to talk about that, because my focus is on the now, okay? That's a very important difference. So here are a few more examples. I am giving this lesson right now. I am working right now. You are listening to me right now. What is your mother doing? So these are all ing situations, okay? That's a very, very important point. So here we have the structure, affirmative sentences. My affirmative sentence here, it'll always follow the same structure. So I have the subject. I have the subject. What is the subject? I have the pronouns I, you, he, she, we, they. This can be a subject. A pronoun can be a subject. I like, I study, you go, you drink, you drive, We study. Fantastic. But I can also have other words representing a noun. For example, the teacher, the student, the house, the architect, the engineer, the director, the board of directors. That could be my subject as well, okay? And then we have verb to be. We have 3 possible conjugations in the present. Am, is, are. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. So I am, it's always I am. There's no other, okay? You are, he, she, it is. We are, you are, they are. Now, the doctor is, because the doctor is singular, okay? He, she, it, they represent subjects in the singular form, okay? And they will represent subjects in the plural form. So the teachers, the students, plural, they are. And after that, a verb, an action verb, okay? No modal verb. No, okay? Action verb plus ing, listening, writing, studying, running, working. So I add the ing, okay? That's a very important piece of information. Now, moving on. Few more examples here, but in the negative form. My sister's not watching this lesson. I know my sister. I know she is not watching this lesson. She's probably busy doing something more, doing something different, getting ready, having breakfast, you name it, okay? So my sister's not watching this lesson. My father is not calling me, okay? So the negative sentence will be formed by adding, I have the verb to be, and then I have the word not. Simple. So I have the subject, okay? Oh, I didn't put the subject here. I thought I had, but I forgot to add the subject. So I have my subject, and is, where? I have my subject, she, it, you, are, they, the teacher, the student. Then I have verb to be. Am not, am, is, are, and then the word not. Am not, is not, are not, we are not, you are not, they are not, she is not, I am not. Oh, Priscilla, can I contract? It's possible. With verb to be, I'm not. With the pronoun I in the verb conjugation am, just add not. I'm not. But with is and are, then there's a better contraction. Isn't, aren't, okay? I'm not, you aren't, he isn't, she isn't, and then the continuous tense, okay? The verb to be, the verb in the ing form. So drink. I am not, at this moment, I am not drinking water. My water is right here. I'm talking to you. I'm not drinking the water. Okay, so I'm not. You are not listening to music right now. I imagine, okay? It is very hard to concentrate on the lesson and listen to music at the same time. So you are not listening to music. You are watching this video. My friends, let's think of 2 friends of mine, okay? Celso, Guilherme. My friends are not watching this lesson, okay? As much as they love me, I know they are not watching my lessons right now at this moment. And if I want to ask questions, I will invert the verb to be and the subject. What is this inversion? The position. So if I want to make an affirmative sentence, I start with I, the subject, or she or he or the doctor or the student, and then verb to be. She is calling you. They are working. Fantastic. But if I want to ask a question, I will start with verb to be. Are you paying attention? Are you listening to me? Is my sister calling me? So that is an interrogative sentence. A few more examples. Is your friend calling you? Is Michael cooking? Is your sister taking yoga lessons? So that's a very important point in terms of structure. And it is interesting to review, okay? But here's an example of a conversation. And I gave this conversation in the past for a different reason. But now I want to use it again because there's a good example here that I want to talk about, which is a little bit more advanced when it comes to the use of present continuous. Because to basic students, we always explain now, 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 now. But it's not always now. I'll talk about it. Don't worry, don't worry. And hey, smash the like button, support the channel. What are you doing, Matthew? Oh, I'm making cookies. Fantastic. Right now, I'm making cookies. Yay! And then Mary, why? Because I'm taking, present continuous, I am taking cooking lessons and I want to try a new recipe. Both examples are in the continuous form, okay? What are you doing? Well, I'm cooking. Very nice. Why are you cooking? Because I'm taking cooking lessons and I want to try a new recipe. I'm taking cooking. Cooking in this example is in the continuous for a different reason, okay? But the verb is taking. I am taking, present continuous. And I want to talk about this example. Before I talk about it, make sure to subscribe to my channel. More than 50% of people who watch my lessons, like my videos, share my videos, are not subscribed. So that really supports the channel. The more you subscribe, the more you invite people to watch. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested, I have an amazing study plan cycle that will help you organize the way you study. You know, it'll help you understand what are the things you need to do to improve your English study routine. So the link to this study plan is in the description of this video. If you need better organization skills, if you need to understand how to use the internet in your favor, this is the plan for you. But let's keep rolling. Temporary activities. This is where we get a little bit more advanced because we don't talk about this when we're teaching beginners. Temporary activities. Look at the answer that I gave you in the conversation. Matthew, because I am taking cooking lessons and I want to try a new recipe. In this example, if we go back to the picture, look at Matthew. He's cooking. That's what he's doing at that moment. He was cooking. Okay? But then he continues to explain why he's cooking. Because I'm taking cooking lessons. But if we think about it, at that moment, he is not at that exact moment taking the cooking lessons. Why not? Because it's a temporary activity. And with temporary activities, we can use present continuous because it's a temporary thing that is happening. Not necessarily right now, but it's in progress. And this is better described with the present continuous. So any situation in the routine, that's where students get a little confused. That's why we don't teach beginners. Any situation that you want to describe as routine, but it's temporary. It's something you're doing right now, temporarily, but it'll end eventually. It's not something that you always do. It's something that is temporarily happening. I can use present continuous, okay? So for example, I opened registration for my academy this week. I am going live at night every day. Am I live right now? I am. But it's a lesson on my channel. It's not about my academy. I'm not talking about my academy here. It's just a lesson that I'm doing. I'm not interacting with people here because it's just a lesson. And I don't know when you're watching this. Maybe when you watch this, I'm not going live at night. But I don't typically go live at night. But this week I'm going live. This is continuous. And I use this because it's a temporary routine change. It's a temporary activity. And I can do it. It doesn't mean when Matthew says, I'm taking cooking lessons, it doesn't mean right now, but it means in my present, this is a temporary action that is happening. And I use present continuous to do that. That's a nice use, very common, by the way. Another interesting use of the present continuous that is a little bit more advanced, and it's nice to teach the students. Maybe you already use it, but you don't understand why you use it. And it's the addition of the adverb always. And I can use always with the present continuous to mean very often. But Priscilla, duh, always means very often, like all the time. Yes, but when I use present continuous and I use always, I give the idea, the detail of too often. There is an exaggeration implied, okay? I can talk about good things, I can talk about bad things, no problems. But there is that exaggeration touch that is different when I just use simple present and always. Oh, I always travel. I always travel. Okay? I always travel abroad. That's it. There's no exaggeration touch. There's no touch of too much, too often, too frequently. No. It's just like it's always. Okay? It's a very high frequency. I understand. But when I'm using with present continuous, I give that idea. And if I want to give that idea of criticism, I can. And I do this with present continuous as well. It's possible. So look at the example. I study hard, but I'm always making silly mistakes. Can I do this with simple present? It's possible, but it doesn't give the same idea, the same touch, okay? And this may not be so easy for you to understand at first, but this is an important difference. Oh, I study hard, but I'm always making silly mistakes. This is too often. This happens way too often, more than I would like, okay? I always make mistakes. This is routine. This is a habit, okay? That's a very important difference as well. And it's very subtle, but it's there. Another example, Tom loves foreign cultures. He's always traveling. He's always traveling. My God. Whenever you want to add that touch, I cannot do that with simple present. I will do that with present continuous. Tom, oh my God. Tom is not here again. Yeah, you know, Tom is always traveling, you know. That's what he does. He travels way too often, way too frequently. And that's an important difference that simple present will not do and present continuous will, okay? Now, my friends, questions with present continuous. I showed you the interrogative sentences, and that's great. But we also have WH questions. What, where, who, why? And I need to think of a context, something that I'm always teaching my students in my academy, that it's important to study with a context. I also teach some information about that in my study plan, link in the description of this video. But all I gotta do is I will maintain the structure of an interrogative sentence, and I will add the WH question. I start with the WH. Are you doing? What are you doing? Because if I only ask, are you doing? Doing what? What are you doing? Who are you watching? Ah, you are watching Teacher Prix. Who are you watching? Where are they going? Why are you crying? So these are possible questions. Can I use other? Yes, it's possible. But you need to think of a context. And that's the challenge, because the students, they just do book exercises. They don't create. And that's why I want you to post a comment here. I want you to create. Post one example, create here a question, affirmative sentence, use the one with always to practice, something that you do too often. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.